Greetings YukiTube and welcome to the Dragoon's Den. Today I've got for you guys a deck profile and it is on Macro Thunder Deadend Storm. Okay, so I've got the deck here on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro because we don't have all the cards needed for this. You could technically build it now, it's just that the really good plays it has require several cards that we don't have here in the TCG, and we'll get to that in a bit. But for the actual list, it consists of 3 Photon Thrasher, 3 Thunder King Ryo, 3 Thunder Seahorse, 3 Mahunder, 3 Pahunder, and 3 Sis Hunder. I'm just going to call them Sis Thunder and such forth, it's just easier. 2 Helios or Primordial Sun, and then Heavy Storm, Rhoda, Reborn, Double Duality, Triple Space, Double Bottomless, Torrential, Prison, Triple Macrocosmos, Solemn Brigade. And then for the extra deck, 1 Gaga Cowboy, Maestro, Roach, Double Photon Parados, Big Black Shepherd Horn, Shockmaster, Double Constellar Omega, Thunderspark Dragon, Utopia, Violent Sigma, Evil Swarm Ouroboros, Constellar Ptolemus Messier 7, and Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger. Ignore this Photon Power Operative I had on the side. I was just using it for testing earlier. So yeah, let's get on with this deck. First off, I completely admit to seeing this pop up on Shriek and being intrigued by it enough to go ahead and play it. Same thing for Convulsion of Nature, Erratic Ishki. A lot of the really fun deck ideas I get come from that site. And when I saw a macro-based Thunder deck on there, I just had to give it a try. And after playing around with this for a couple of days now, I have to say that this is just a really fun deck to play. I've been wanting to play a fun Thunder deck for quite some time other than Watts. I'm sorry Watt players, but I just do not like that deck strategy at all. This is much more aggressive and suited to my style. And basically the focus of the deck is you do the things that Thunder spammers do. And that is, you normal summon a Thunder monster, activate its effect to summon another normal summon another Thunder monster, and then you can do it once or 2 more times, and it leads to fields of rank 4 Xyz monsters. It's actually quite feasible to make 3 monster rank 4s like Shockmaster within the first turn, and the deck has some really nice cards to work with. Thunder Seahorse is by far the best card in the entire deck. You discard it, search 2 light Thunder type monsters with the same name with 1600 attack and add them to your hand. That includes himself, Moth Thunder, Paw Thunder, Sis Thunder, so he can search out 2 of these cards from your deck to your hand. And if you open with him and Duality, you just thinned out your deck by 3 cards on your first turn. You can't special summon the turn you activate this effect, and you can only use his effect once per turn, but for all of that, it's still a really good price to pay, especially if you follow it up with a Thunder King and some back row. Yeah, you're pretty good. Not to mention, he just has to be discarded, so if you've got Macro or DeFi up, he still resolves. And he's a target for Sis Thunder, who we'll get to in a bit. Moth Thunder and Paw Thunder have the same effect, where when they're normal summon, once per turn you can normal summon another level 4 light Thunder type monster in addition to your normal summon. So you can summon Paw, activate his effect, normal summon Ma, activate her effect, normal summon Paw or Sis or Ryo or Seahorse or Batteryman AA or Violon Prism and so forth. So these guys, pretty neat engine. Sis Thunder, when she's normal summoned, you can target 1 light level 4 or lower. No, it's just 1 light level 4 Thunder monster with 1600 attack or less in your graveyard except herself. Banish it and add it to your hand during the end phase. She doesn't have to be on the field for this to resolve, so you can summon her after you've normal summoned Paw Thunder. You can banish the Seahorse that you pitched last turn, add it to your hand during the end phase after you've made Constellar Omega. You know, that kind of thing. Thunder King is just a good monster in general, plus he's a Thunder type monster, so he does get the bonus boost of being summonable alongside Moth Thunder or Paw Thunder. Not very often you'll really want to use your Thunder King as success material, but the option is there. Photon Thrasher is here as a 2100 body. He's light, so you can special summon it, normal summon a Thunder monster, and then you can go into Constellar Omega or Photon Parados, that kind of thing. And he just gets over things like Thunder King Ryo, he crashes heads with Cyber Dragon, and he just allows you to do a lot of plays. You can search it out with Rhoda, and he's going to look amazing as an ultimate. Other notable monster is Helios the Primordial Sun. This seems odd, but the main use of this card is it's to be summoned with Macrocosmos, and the reason is it's another level 4 monster that you can use to make your 2 or 3 monster rank 4s. It's possible to special summon a Thrasher, flip up Macro, summon Helios, make Utopia, Maestroke, Gaga Cowboy, whatever you need for the situation. Or you can summon Moth Thunder, summon Paw Thunder, flip Macro, get Helios, make Shockmaster, call spells, set your back row, say go. So that's what Helios is there for. Plus, it also gets 100 attack for every card that's been banished, and if you get Macro off early and it stays there, it could quite potentially hit 2,000 plus attack if you've gotten 10 cards in each player's banish pile set up. So there is that. And then, as for the spells, straightforward. Same for the traps. You've got Monster Hate, Macro Hate, but you've also got 3 copies of Macrocosmos, which is by far the best anti-meta card this format. So many things lose out to Macro, except, you know, Rabbit, and agents aren't too bothered by it. If you don't get Macro up first turn, they don't care. But otherwise, Macro is just an amazing card this format, and that's why it's in this deck. Plus, of course, synergy with Helios. Does suck to get it warning, but whatever. Macro is your semi-win condition. You just make a Shockmaster backed up with Macro and decent back row, you're probably going to win. And then as for the Xyz monsters, most are straightforward, but quite a few are OCG only. We'll first talk about Radiant Photon Parados, who is coming out in the tin next year. You need 2 level 4 lights. With return, you can detach both materials from this card to target effect monster your opponent, just one monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes 0, and if it has an effect, it's negated. So he gets rid of any monster on the field, and you swing for 2,000. When he's destroyed by your opponent's card, you draw a card if he hits the graveyard. So obviously, if Macro's up, that's not going to happen, but whatever. He's still an out to problem monsters like Blackluster Soldier, Zenmanes, Utopia. Then you've got Constellar Omega, who's by far the best rank 4 this deck has. 2 level 4 lights. Once per turn, during the other player's turn, you can detach an Xyz material from this card. Face up Constellar Xyz monsters. No, just face up Constellar monsters, my bad. Become unaffected by spell and traps. So you go with a Constellar Omega. Your opponent tries to Torrential Tribute it or Compulse it. Uses effect. Well, so much for that. You have this guy and another Constellar like Miss A7 on the board. Your opponent goes Dark Hole. Activate this guy's effect. Both of them are safe from Dark Hole. He's a really annoying monster. 2400 attack is a little low, but as we've seen with Logia, 2400 beaters with good protection effects with back row are a nuisance to get around. And then you've got Evil Swarm Ouroboros. He may be a nerfed Trish, but he's still pretty decent. Being able to just get rid of any threat card your opponent has. If they've got a Shining or a Utopia or an Acid Golem that you just can't clear, Ouroboros can get rid of it. You can also get a card out of your opponent's hand, and you can also get rid of that monster in your opponent's graveyard that you don't want to see, like a Treeborn Frog. And then you got Constellar Telemus M7. You might remember this from Gishki Heretics and Heretics in general. You can drop this on top of any Constellar Xyz monster, but the turn you do so, you can't use the effect, but it's alright. He'll probably have 1 or 2 materials on him afterwards. Say you've used Omega's effect twice. Drop this. 2700 beater that afterwards on your next turn you can detach a material to bounce a monster from either player's field or the graveyard back to the hand. So you can use them to recycle your own monsters like a Thunder Seahorse. Recycling Thunder Seahorse is also pretty good. Again, turn 1 Seahorse, get 2 more, summon a Sis Thunder, get the Seahorse back to the hand, play a Duality and like do stuff, awesome things. And then lastly you got a Gaia Dragon because this guy will have no materials at some point, so you can just drop this, and you can proceed to just beat over your opponent with Pierce damage. So, all in all, Macro Thunder, really fun deck. How competitive is it? I'm actually not quite certain. Certain deck strategies can just completely laugh you in the face. I faced, what was it? Seal of Orichalcos, Counter Furies. And that one just completely shot me down because I just could not do anything against that. And of course, Decree is a bit of an issue, but you got 3 MST, and no doubt you'd be siding in more stuff too. You can run Gozen Match in your side, and it really hurts you that much. You can even do Rivalry of Warlords as the only monster you could get from your hand onto the field would be Photon Thrasher, but the rest of your monsters are Thunder type, so there is that. Otherwise, this is something that when it becomes available, I will build. You could technically build it now, but again, Thunder Spammers are so much better when you have access to the Constellars and Radiant Photon Parados, and not to mention Thunder Seahorse is kind of a pricey card. So yeah, until I can get my hands on 2 more of these, I'm going to be dealing with this deck strictly online. Hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, stay frosty.